This is Behind the Verdict. I'm John Horford with Myron Cook, and I'm only smiling and kind of laughing because right before we started this, Christina's literally over here dancing.
I was looking at my notes. I was excited. This is a crazy case.
This is Christina's case, so it is. I feel like we need to get a system going.
No. Anyways.
No, you're excited about it. We want you to take the lead on this case because you're excited to talk about it. We want to lean into the person who has the most passion about the topic.
See, I don't think Christina likes the word lead, but she has a lot of good information. So what I think Christina needs to do is throw out the good information and we'll all talk. You don't have to use that word, John.
Okay, well, I don't have like an overview written out of this.
You don't have to. You want me to write something and just slide it over to you? I have a little something right here.
Are we talking about him?
We're talking about a powerful legal dynasty.
Ooh.
A double homicide.
Oh.
A web of fraud and secrets. Why did a respected attorney kill his own wife and son? And how did he steal from everyone who trusted him? For over a century, the Murdaugh family dominated South Carolina's Lowcountry legal landscape. 4 generations of county solicitors setting a legacy of power and prestige. But cracks started to emerge in 2015. The mysterious death of 19-year-old Stephen Smith hinted at cover-ups. And then in 2019, Alex's son Paul caused a fatal boating crash. Alex allegedly manipulated witnesses and the investigation.
And what was Alex's profession?
An attorney. You said that, didn't you?
He was an attorney.
Yeah.
Right?
Prosecuting attorney?
I think he was a defense attorney at that point, but I think his family had many years in prosecution and other things in the community.
And what we know from 36 episodes of Behind the Verdict at this point.
Here it comes.
You can't trust a prosecutor.
Are you kidding me?
Dang,
No.
Shots fired.
No, that's what you think.
Wow. You want to get into a big debate about that? Let's go.
No, Myrene, the fact that we're still doing this after however many months it's been is proof that you can trust a prosecutor.
Thank you.
But hope that they get sleep the night before they see you.
Hey, stop it.
Hey, humans are human. All right, let's get into this case.
Let's start with the boating crash. Because I feel like that was the one that really just...
That's what I thought this case was about.
No?
At first.
Before
I knew
that's what
the additional details that happened. I was like, oh, okay, so we're gonna look into this case related to a kid who was drunk and driving his boat. And
yeah, so Alex's son Paul was drunk with his friends.
I love you leading.
Oh, gosh, I guess I will. It was drunk driving a boat with his friends, and it was testified by the friends that they all tried to take over driving the boat. He was being just incredibly reckless, and then shocker, they crashed the boat. It was also nighttime. Driving boats at night, there's no headlights. Why is anyone doing that?
I just did that. It's terrifying.
Yeah, don't do that.
Across a massive, however big that lake is. What lake was that?
I know it wasn't there.
So
there are some lights on boats, but they don't have headlights like cars do per se.
You can't see it.
They
like
were
a
going
plane.
They were going boating and going to bars that, quite honestly, weren't they too young to get into?
I was just going to say, yeah, they weren't.
He's a Murdaugh, and they're in South Carolina.
Well, that's
what
he thought too. He could do what he wanted, when he wanted, how much he wanted to drink, and nobody was going to tell this privileged, shitty ass kid differently.
And I'll say this though, I think I'm jumping ahead. The dad,
you are jumping ahead.
So polite when he called all those times he was calling the police. He was so polite. I was like, damn it. It's one of my things. When people are polite, I'm like, I have more respect for people who are polite. Obviously, he did a lot of fucked up things, but I was like,
do you think
so
maybe
polite.
His profession led him down that path to, hey, you know what? I'm going to be nice to these people and get them on my side.
It's smart.
Yeah,
for sure. It's smart. Yeah,
well, it's not all that smart.
Manipulation. It's manipulation. I know it's
smart.
Manipulation, but just hearing it, like I get it. And then
it made me think he was diabolical.
Yeah, and then when they'd be like, "What's your name?" He'd be like, Alex Murdaugh, and they're like Murdaugh, like they're like they all knew who he was, like or who the family was.
Small town.
Going back to this boating thing, he was drunk. He had like what, six friends on this boat, which probably was more than they should have on that size of a boat. And he ran into a pillar,
A bridge.
of a
pillar,
bridge,
yeah.
right?
Hey, there were definitely lights on the bridge, right? Or was it pitch black?
Well, it was dark, but it wasn't that dark because people were telling him, "Hey," and he ran into it, and people were thrown from the boat.
Yeah.
And there was one young lady that they didn't find right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess the current was so strong it pulled her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Out?
pulled her decently far. It took them like 7 days, I think, to
That's
find her.
terrifying.
But it's crazy because her boyfriend that also was thrown from the boat, he said he literally had his arms around her. So she just went flying out of his arms, and then they couldn't find her for a week. That would send me through a fucking loop.
And they were
It's-
on shore when law enforcement showed up, and they were the other kids that were there, especially the boyfriend, were just beside themselves, hysterical. You got to find our friend. You got to find our friend. And Paul is just like, hey, I got to call my dad.
Of course he's got to call his dad.
The fucked up thing is that it's not like, besides being the one who was drunk and drove a boat into a bridge, it wasn't like he intentionally wanted this one individual to disappear.
It wasn't
course not.
premeditated,
Yes, not at all.
but it was
No.
still recklessly
super reckless,
endangering
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Crazy that she was pulled out of her boyfriend's arms.
Yeah.
Like it was that strong, but it didn't pull him.
No, he went out too, but like
Was she unconscious or was she conscious?
she hit her head, I think.
But was
when-
she unconscious?
She might have been, so that
do you
way she might not have been
Like
able
was
to
she
swim.
knocked out in her arms, or was she?
No.
She was not knocked out.
No, I think she flew out of his arms and hit her head on something, and that is what knocked her unconscious, and then she drowned from there. But so he called his dad. Paul called Alex, and I think he came. Did he come to the scene?
He came to the scene. Oh, yes, he did.
Did he come to the scene?
Yeah.
And then he also went to the hospital and immediately was trying to blame it on the friend Connor and say that Connor was the one driving. And he was like trying to kind of playfully manipulate people into like,
The other witnesses.
yeah,
And
but
Connor was like, I was actually trying to drive, but your
Right.
son's a jackass, and was like, this is my boat, I'm driving it.
right. And his injuries were basically the determining factor of why he was not driving the boat, because of how he fell forward and what he hit. He couldn't have been behind the wheel. He was on like the right side.
And then everyone
of
else in the boat
was
would have
like-
just been like,
Exactly.
he wasn't driving the boat.
Right.
It was
Right.
your son.
Right. Yeah, but I'm sure they were all a bit intimidated by Alex. I mean, a lot of people.
He offered to pay their medical bills, and some of those kids didn't have a whole lot of money in their families. So he's offering to pay all of that if you just say, Connor was driving, not Paul.
Well, you should have to pay him because your son is the reason why they needed the medical
absolutely.
care.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bare minimum.
All right, so continue from there because that seems bad enough
But
ish.
that case was still pending
Yeah.
when everything else happened later.
Yeah. So
He was-
Christina, what happened later?
Well, I can't remember how long it took for them to actually, charge him for that murder, but he pled not guilty and was going to fight it. And then he ended up dead a year later.
So
2 years
they were fighting it legally. There's motions, and people from both sides were filing all kinds of things, which just prolonged that case a very long time. So it was still pending at the time of Paul's death.
Yeah, it was 2 years later
Yeah.
that Paul's death was. So Paul, 911 got a call from Alex Murdaugh, hysterical, I don't know what you want to call it, and saying that he found
But
his,
polite.
I don't think he was.
I don't know. It seemed that
He
for some-
wasn't all that hysterical, though, was he?
I could hit air quotes. I guess people can't
He sounded.
see that if they're
Can-
He
listening.
sounded out of breath.
We gotta throw that in. We gotta throw
Yeah.
that in right here.
It's kind
Hampton County 911, where's your emergency?
This is Alex Murdaugh at 4147 Moselle Road. I need the police and the ambulance immediately. My wife and child just got badly.
Okay, you said 4147 Moselle Road in Allison?
Sir?
You said 4147 Moselle Road in Allison?
Yes, sir. 4147 Moselle Road.
Stay on the line with me,
Please
okay?
hurry.
Yes, sir. Stay on the line with me, okay?
Yes. Hello?
I'm still here. Stay on the line. I'm still here, okay?
Oh.
Collison, I have an Alex Murdaugh on the line, caller from 4147 Moselle Road. He's advising that his wife and child was shot. Mr. Murdaugh, go ahead and talk to Collison.
It's 4147 Moselle Road. I've been up to it now. It's bad.
Okay. How did they shoot? Did they shoot themselves?
Oh, no. Hell no.
Okay, and are they breathing?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and you said it's your wife and your son?
My wife and my son.
Are they in a vehicle?
No, ma'am. They're on the ground out at my kennels. I can tell that.
And did
I
you
can
see
tell that
anyone?
he shot in the head, and he shot really bad.
So he called and was saying that he just found his son and his wife murdered, and he wasn't there. He was visiting his parents, but he had already touched them, which was just...
Well, because they said, they're like, don't touch him. And he's like, I tried to touch him, but he had a good reason. He was like, I had to check to see if they were breathing.
But he also turned Paul over, touched his phone, and then put his phone. Yeah, took his phone and then put it back down, and then he did more than.
But he answered in the moment. Like, it wasn't like
he's an attorney.
He fumbled on it.
He knows what to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows what to say. But that was just an excuse of like why his DNA was going to be all over them. So then they couldn't use any like.
And this happened at their, I guess, summer home, if you will. And they had dog kennels that were quite a long ways from the house itself, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And allegedly, that's where it happened, was by the kennels. And I think Paul might have been shot by a little work shed or something else that they had right
the
there.
Feeding shed for the dogs or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one was shot with a shotgun and one was shot with a rifle.
Yeah. Which, do you think that was made to make it look like it was two different people?
Two different people.
Yeah.
But ironically, it was from 2 caliber weapons that the Murdaughs, were known to have. And shockingly, guess what? The guns were missing.
Shocker.
Bum, bum, bum.
But then didn't somebody find them moving guns?
Yeah. So after, is it Slay? Slay?
I think, isn't it? Slay?
I don't know. I'm confused.
It's the police agency in South Carolina. It's got a really cool name. I'm going to look it up.
Yeah.
You go ahead.
Anyway, so they went, or just the law enforcement in general were there, I think, with a search warrant, confiscating the guns and whatever. And then a random YouTuber got a tip about something. And so he sent his drone up in the air over their property and saw Buster, I think, and Alex's youngest brother. So Buster is the other son of Alex, and Alex's brother were taking some other guns out of the house after law enforcement had left.
South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, SLED. You were correct.
Nice. Yeah, so that was weird. I don't know if they did they end up finding the guns?
I don't remember if they ended up finding the guns, but they found a lot of things. Like, he did go visit his mother, who had a caregiver.
Yeah.
But he tried to pay that caregiver off and say he was there longer than he was. And she was like, no, you weren't. She also said that he brought in a tarp, and it was wrapped around other things like a raincoat and some other things that had, I want to say she said it had something on it, i.e. probably blood would be my guess.
Right.
Right? But he stored that stuff at his mother's house, and it was quite a ways away.
Yeah. Also, we haven't even mentioned that the boating incident opened up another investigation of a murder or a death that happened in 2015 of a guy or kid named Stephen Smith, who had a really close relationship with the other brother, Buster, who I was just mentioning. And Stephen was, I'm pretty sure I want to say gay, and people thought they might have had a relationship, and then he was found dead in the middle of the street. Don't know. It's still unsolved, I'm pretty sure. But a lot of people were saying, look at Buster.
Look at Buster. Yeah, his car was abandoned maybe a mile or so from where he was found, and it didn't make sense. He was laying in the middle of the street. Had he been hit by a car, it was very odd, the position of his body.
Yeah.
But also, I think it was maybe one of his shoes was off, and it just looked really weird to investigators, like it didn't fit.
Right.
It didn't fit the right way.
Right. Yeah. And then it also opened up another investigation into the death of their housekeeper, Gloria Satterfield. Died at their house, fell down their stairs. Supposedly she tripped over the dog.
It wasn't even the inside stairs. It was the outside brick stairs, and it was only maybe 5-6 stairs going up to this summer cottage. That's not a cottage like you and I would think, but she fell backwards and died.
Yeah. And then Alex had taken out took out an insurance policy the month before on the property, I think it was, or something, and then said that he was going to sue himself so he could get the money and take care of her kids with that money that he got from the settlement or whatever. And he basically ended up pocketing $4.3 million.
Well,
So was it $10 million and he pocketed 4.3?
I don't think so.
For his oxy addiction?
No, I think he
total
pocketed it
4.3.
not only from that family but other families.
Yeah, he was embezzling from his work.
Yep.
Yeah, things were just all starting to unravel, I think, after the boating incident. And
yeah, I think he did a lot of civil cases where there were large judgments that should have been given to the victims' families, and he embezzled all of that, saying, "Oh, we're still waiting on the check to come. We're still waiting on the check to come."
Oh, damn.
And so he owed a lot of money. He was embezzling from the law firm itself that his family founded and had in their, glorious name for, what was it, over 100 years, something like that. And he was using a whole lot of drugs.
Yep. Opioids, to be specific. Crazy.
Oxy, to be specific.
There you go.
And I think the weight of the boating case was weighing on him and financially weighing on him because he was paying all the legal fees for the attorneys and everything else, and looking at the bottom line, which was going to be, you're going to be paying out a shit ton of money to the girl's family who died and to all the other victims who got hurt.
Yep.
And how are you going to do that? Because you've already embezzled, you've already taken this money, you've taken that money, and now what are you going to do? And he came up with this, in his mind, brilliant plan to kill his wife and kill his son, Paul.
And make it look like it was someone who was mad about the boating incident, trying to get revenge.
Yeah. And he mentioned that in the 911 call.
Yeah.
Doesn't he?
Oh, well, I think from the body cams when the police get there.
Oh, was it the body cam?
They had him sit in the car,
Yeah.
and they had it was the dash cam running because it was facing him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what a person is supposed to look like when you find your wife and your son murdered, but he was just like, well, I don't know. There was this boating case. I mean, he seemed relatively calm for all of that.
And then he'd randomly be like, oh. Sorry, that was really weird in a microphone.
That was amazing acting. You got to go. If you're listening to this, go to YouTube, go to Facebook. You got to see Christina. Her acting is just
pathetic. It was
Clearly,
pathetic
Christina,
crying.
what you were doing was emulating him because that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
And then he would stop and dry up on.
I don't even know if tears fell. I think it was just like.
He would just stop and then talk about something else randomly.
Yep.
Just talk.
Yep. And then.
He's probably on Oxy.
He probably was.
And then after the death of his wife and son, I think obviously everything was coming to a head for him. So he tried to frame like a family friend by telling him to shoot Alex in the head. And then he wouldn't do it. So it was like Cousin Eddie or something like that. And he wouldn't do it, so he shot himself on the side of the road and called the cops and acted like someone
tried
just
to
drove
ambush
by,
him.
and shoot him and then tie it all back again to the boating incident and his family being targeted.
The interview
now.
that guy did with his lawyer on whatever the show was pretty funny, because when they asked him about it, the lawyer just like looks at him and the guy was basically like.
He's like,
if I shot him, he'd be dead.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I'm a good shot.
I'm a good
He's
shot.
like, you would be dead.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And he was a really good friend to that family. Like he did so much work for them.
like a
he actually
handyman.
hung out with them.
But if you're willing, I'm not.
What?
Okay, I don't mean to laugh. But if you're, it's just so fucking crazy. If you're willing to kill your wife and your son,
yeah.
anyone else is on the table.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you don't give a fuck. Like it doesn't fucking
Yeah.
matter who you are. Like if you'll
Yeah.
kill your wife and your son, you'll kill anyone.
Right.
You'll kill anyone. You'll
Yeah.
throw anyone under the bus. You'll blame anyone for anything. You'll do anything.
Well, wasn't there a phone call or a voice recording or something? I can't remember exactly what it
video.
is. But I bet you, see, I knew you'd know.
Yeah.
That
The lead.
Paul was down at the kennels, right?
Yeah.
Tell us of what was on the video.
There was one video from earlier that night that he didn't know was on Paul's phone of Paul recording his dad like in a field, and he's wearing like a blue polo and khaki pants. And then when the cops come later that night, he's wearing a white T-shirt and khaki shorts.
Because he had just taken a shower.
Right.
'Cause he
And so
murdered
that
two
was like
people.
that was like the first question that detectives came to him with, because he didn't know that video existed of him in the blue polo. And they came to him, they were like, so when did you change? And he was just like, must have been when I got home from my parents or something like that, which he was trying to say he got home at what, 10:30?
He got home after the murders.
And the
but
murders were at 9.
he got home before
Yes.
because he was there.
Well, that was my other, I was curious because we can track cell phones now. How could they not take his phone and place him at the scene from that?
I want to say it was his phone, and I can't remember exactly, but they traced the route of how long it would take to get from that house to his mother's house, and it was quite a ways. But he took some sort of back road area, and they went down that back road and searched it and found a cell phone out there. And I can't remember if it was his or one of the murder victims,
Maybe that's
but they
it.
did find it so that he couldn't be tracked.
Yeah, so then because they couldn't put him at the scene until they were able to unlock Paul's phone, which for a while in the investigation, they couldn't get through the passcode apparently, which
And that's
again,
really hard.
Is that?
It is.
You can't like subpoena Apple, or I don't know
Apple
if that's the term.
Apple doesn't do it. I mean, it's easier to get into some phones. iPhones are incredibly hard to get into.
Good for us, I guess. But like, if I'm murdered, please
But
get in.
that-
Don't
Other-
worry. I'll share your code with the world.
Yeah, you know. Okay.
But getting into Paul's phone, there was a
Yes.
video that proved
Yes.
Alex was there.
Yes, it was at 8:45, and Paul was taking it of his friend's dog that he was watching, and he's like focusing on the dog, and he's in the kennel, and you hear Maggie in the back, and you hear Alex in the back, clear as day. And I feel like the prosecution did a really good job in the beginning of the trial. They were like, I want people to hear his voice on camera, so when we play this, they immediately know it's him. And he's in the back saying, "Come on, Bubba," like really loud and clearly. So it puts him at the scene minutes before.
Because he
they were
said he
killed.
wasn't even at the kennels that day.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and you show it clearly
Exactly.
that he was.
Yeah.
Oxy's a hell of a fucking drug.
But you know what got me about this trial? I watched it from beginning to end. He was so damn smug, right? I mean, he just acted like, I'm going to beat this. I know better. I'm smarter than you. And he just sat there so smugly. I don't even know if I can describe it. Did you see that?
I did until they played that video, and then you could tell he was
He
just like
crumbled a little.
shit. He was looking down. He was shaking a bit.
But you know what? He would have known they had that video. It would have been sent to the defense. It wouldn't have been a surprise.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So in any criminal case, as the prosecutor, I have to use what's called discovery. I have to give the defense every piece of evidence I have, whether it is inculpatory showing they did it or exculpatory pointing to somebody else.
Yeah.
I have to give everything I have to the defense. So they would have had it.
So maybe it was just the energy in the room after it was being shown. Like
Yeah.
the jurors, like everyone was pretty like silent and
Well,
taken aback.
I think maybe he convinced himself he could get away with it because his visits with Buster, the surviving son, and
Yeah.
calls to other family member were talking about what a big man he is in the jail and how he's playing chess or whatever he's doing, and he's giving people legal advice, and he set up a little makeshift office as if he's like a freaking celebrity. I mean, he just gunned down his wife and his son.
Right. With a shotgun
And
and
a
an auto
rifle.
AR. Yeah. That's,
Did they determine who he shot first?
yeah.
Who?
Paul.
Okay.
They said Paul was in like the feeding area or something, and he shot him facing into the feeding area once, and it didn't take him down. And then they think he was surprised, and then he shot him from an angle as Paul walked out, like stumbled out, up like through his neck and head from a shotgun at close distance, and then he just obviously
because this was at close range. They saw him.
Yeah,
they saw him doing this, and so I think he probably took Paul out first because Paul would have been the threat.
Yes,
and if he shot the son, the mom is going to be emotional.
Yep.
Right? She's going to freak out, and she's probably not going to be able to do anything to him because Alex was a big guy.
Yeah, and she was running away.
Right.
And she had multiple gun wounds, and then I think the killing blow, she was like on all fours, and it went like up through her chest and then like the bottom of her head, and then he shot her again when she was already dead on the ground in her head.
He never admitted to any of this though.
No, he still claims he's innocent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's trying to appeal.
Good luck.
Right. Yeah. Diabolical.
To kill your wife and your son in that way.
Right.
Like you're that much of a drug addict? Is it the drugs? Like what possesses someone to do this?
I think it was partly the drugs. I think it was his own ego. I think it was the fact he got himself into trouble at the law firm and with other people he couldn't get himself out of.
And I think his son was getting him into more financial trouble with the other case.
With the boating accident. Yeah. I want to correct myself. It's not a boating accident. You know what it is?
What?
It's a boating crash. Because it's not an accident. He didn't do it accidentally. He drove drunk on purpose, right?
Yeah.
I hate when that is said in court. Oh, they had a car crash. No, they had a car accident.
Oh,
no,
yeah. I was like, oh.
They had a car crash.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's video footage of him walking on like a dock that night.
Stumbling.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I saw that video too. Yeah, it was really bad because the other people are like, should we get in there or not? Oh, we got to go back. That's the only way we can get back to our car. Ugh. It's so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
But I think this was a family at the time, and I don't want to paint all the Murdaughs this way, but Alex for sure thought he was above reproach. He was above the law. He was from the Murdaugh family. Mm-hmm. They could do what they wanted. They were like royalty there.
And he clearly still thinks very highly of himself. He's in prison, and it's like, I'm playing games every day, and everybody looks up to me, and I'm giving out legal advice. Which that's weird.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
and
got a makeshift office. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why is he allowed to have any of this? Like, why does he have so many of these pleasures and this flexibility in a makeshift
family?
office?
I don't know. Money, privilege. I mean, I don't know what it is.
You're a prosecutor. You're supposed to have all the answers.
I do have all the answers, but you don't always want to hear them.
I want to hear them.
I don't know what else it is.
Oh, okay.
It was just got to be money and privilege.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
But quite honestly, he doesn't have any money left.
Yeah.
Because the boating case did go through and they had to sell that property. It had some weird name. What was the name of that property?
Started with an M.
Mosaic?
Moselle.
Yeah. 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 They had to sell that. They had an auction for all the crap inside. So people were going there to buy a piece of the house. They're buying like the coffee cup and they're buying the couch.
Someone bought their digital cameras with the SD cards
still in them.
Yeah.
It's a little weird.
But she was like a enthusiast of
I get
criminals.
That, but, no, I get that, but police should have taken that, right?
Yeah. I mean, it might have, I don't know. It was just happy, like, I don't think she found anything, like, incriminating. It was
but who knows what it could have been? It could have been a freaking sex tape with his wife.
Yeah. No, it was weird that, they auctioned that off with SD cards.
Yeah, with SD card is just strange. Like, I get it without.
And I think, wasn't there the mom's sister who came forward and said, my sister was talking to me about wanting to leave him. There was DV in the home, and she wanted to get out. She just didn't know how. Do you remember that?
No, I don't. I haven't finished all of it, rewatching all of it.
I mean, imagine. I'm sure he's pretty controlling. You know, I make the money, you don't. I don't know that she worked.
Go figure. Yeah.
You know,
he's on oxy.
He probably didn't want her to work.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't. In those types of situations, especially.
Well, he's controlling. He wanted to control what she did, how she did it, what she spent money on, all the things.
Yeah.
To be able to kill your wife that way and be able to kill your son that way, it's just.
But then have a straight face and talk with law enforcement like less than half hour later?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Whatever time they arrived.
And then,
I think he had enough time to go take a shower, so maybe it was longer than that, and change.
But how was he crying again, Christina?
Not doing it again.
You should do it again. It's pretty funny.
You should show us what a fake cry looks like. Go ahead.
I'm not an actor. She's the actress in the family.
I'm too mean to cry, so sorry.
That's not true.
Too mean to cry.
It's not true. Myrene has a heart of gold.
Well, I do to people who deserve it.
Which is the few.
It's valid. protect your energy.
Exactly, right? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Like, no one's what?
I don't think John likes it when we agree,
Yeah.
right?
I love when you agree. I just don't love when your tone insinuates that I was coming at you about something.
Well, sometimes you do.
Only when it's related to he who shall not
Stop.
be named.
Stop.
Yeah.
Or OJ.
Oh wait, this is funny.
We were on the same page about OJ. You were just
No,
like,
he's
Scott Peterson.
charismatic.
Scott Peterson is the most gorgeous,
I
charismatic
didn't
person in the
say
world.
that.
I'm like, Scott
Oh my
Peterson looks like
God.
a foot.
This is another rabbit hole.
I was like, OJ's at least
I have
athletic
something to
and
say.
funny.
I have something to say about OJ. They played a.
Yeah, it was funny. I was next to you when we were watching. And I looked over and I was like, "Is that O.J. Simpson?" And they're talking to him about the Murdaugh case.
He was filming a video of himself, and he posted it on social media.
Makes it even worse.
It might have been like a Q&A, like someone was asking him,
Yeah,
like what he thought
exactly.
about the case.
Did he
Yeah.
say
I don't think it
Alex
an
Murdaugh
interview.
was
It
so
wasn't a-
stupid he should have got away with it like I did?
He said, "I think he's gonna get off on this."
"Oh my God."
Of course you do, OJ. It worked out for you. Oh,
He would
my God.
know.
Yeah, exactly.
He would know.
That was
If
funny.
the dream team was still alive, maybe.
Could have helped him.
Ugh.
Do you think, which again I haven't gotten, I got to the point in the documentary where he was taking the stand.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that was a good call for the defense?
Absolutely, positively not. It was great for the prosecutor to
Right.
be able to screw with him. I would have loved to be that prosecutor cross-examining him because he thought he was smarter.
Yeah.
And he thought he could get around it. And when they would catch him in a lie, it was as if he didn't know what to do. Should I turn on the waterworks? Should I act mad? Should I seem scared? What should I do? And then he tried to like throw things back like, okay, I get it. If I were ever cross-examined, not that I would murder someone and you would do that, but I would probably try to control the narrative of the questioning. And he did that up one side, down another. And it just made him look like such a liar. Mm-hmm. Such a liar.
Yeah.
You know why?
Because he is.
Because he's a liar.
Yeah, I mean, if you have any questions, no. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we? Is there a part 2 to this? Is there more details
I
to
don't
this
know.
that we want to add? I mean, we could go in depth into some things. We
There's
could see.
some really good documentaries on this case.
Yeah, there are.
You want to throw some out there?
I
for
don't
the
remember
people?
all the things,
Netflix
but just
has-
look at them.
Yeah, Netflix has a good one. HBO has one. They're both kind of like similar, but
And one of them has like, maybe it's a 2-part.
Netflix, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the one I remember
Yeah,
watching.
they released it after I think he finally was convicted of it,
Yeah.
which
And he was convicted of all those fraudulent embezzlement crimes too.
Yeah.
And he got a long sentence on that.
22 counts of wire fraud and money laundering.
Yeah.
Which led to a 40-year prison sentence and 8.7 million restitution.
Which they will
Whoa.
never collect,
Yeah.
unfortunately, for those families.
right. Yeah, no, I don't have anything else.
I wonder what the surviving son, Buster, thinks. Does he think Dad did it?
I bet.
Well, Buster has his own issues.
I was gonna say Buster knows he helped him with his case, probably.
True. That's
so.
true.
Buster-
Buster's not above the law.
He probably had a relationship with this Stephen Smith gentleman. Yeah, that whole story is strange. Also, the last text that he sent his mom was really sad. It's like, "I made it safe, Mama. I love you."
Buster
Oh.
said that.
No, Stephen said
Stephen
that.
did.
Oh.
Before he died, that was the last thing he ever sent to his mom. Like, made it safe.
But he didn't.
Because he was going on a fishing trip
Yeah.
with a prominent person.
Maybe they took his phone and did that.
Yeah,
So she
that's
she
what I
wouldn't
thought.
send anybody to look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was my first thought.
It's very sad.
I think he was talking to his dad on the phone a lot.
He did for a while, but then I think they got into an argument about something because I think Alex thought Buster wasn't paying enough attention to him.
You know what? At that point, Buster, you gotta cut him off.
I don't know. Buster ought to be in there with him.
Yeah, you should, but
Maybe, I don't
enjoy
know.
it well you can, I guess.
We need more proof.
There's proof.
Is there?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, then do we have to go into detail on what that proof is in this part
We'll
2?
We'll think about it.
Myrene said he did it. No more details necessary. So if you have any questions, or if you want us to do a part 2 and you're like, you guys are idiots for not going into these specific details, reach out. We would love to hear from you. Maybe say it in a nicer way, and then we'll be more likely to take it seriously. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you listen to podcasts, we'll be there waiting.
Let us know what we missed on this case. And do you think Buster did what he did to Stephen Smith, or what else happened? Let us know your thoughts.
And why that? Never mind. you can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.